The SS William A. Irvin is a Great Lakes freighter that sailed as part of U.S. Steel's Lake Fleet. She was the flagship of the company fleet from her launch during the Great Depression in 1938 until 1975, and then became the general workhorse of the fleet until her retirement in 1978. She was refurbished and moored at Duluth, Minnesota as a museum ship. The SS William A. Irvin is a very well maintained example of a classic Laker, and a prime example of a straight decker, as she has no self-unloading system. She was launched November 21st, 1937 at the yard of the American Shipbuilding Company in Lorain, Ohio. Her maiden voyage began on the 25th of June 1938 after outfitting in Lorain. She cost about $1.3 million. She sat in layup in West Duluth for 8 years until the Duluth Entertainment Convention Center purchased her for $110,000 for an addition to their convention center along with the Duluth waterfront. William A. Irvin was repainted and sealed up before heading to her final dock near the Ariel Left Bridge. She was moved in September of 2018 to Fraser Bay Shipyards in Superior, Wisconsin, while environmental work was done at her home slip. On August 1st, 2019, she was placed in dry dock for painting and repairs to the portion of her hull normally below the waterline. She was then towed back across the harbor on October 16th, 2019 and returned to her home in Minnesota Slip Bridge. She is 610 feet long, or 186 meters, with a beam of 60 feet, or 18 meters. Her carrying capacity is 13,600 tons. She was one of a few Lakers built with a 3-tiered bow cabin, as opposed to the standard 2. The extra deck is used to house a suite of 4 guest cabins and a guest lounge. Also a part of the guest accommodation was a guest dining room located where the number 2 hatch would be located on most Lakers. Those parts of the boat are trimmed with oak paneling and a walnut veneer with brass handrailing. She is powered by gear steam turbine engines rather than the gigantic 2-story tall engines used in other older ore-carrying ships of that time. The steam from the boiler room at the front of the engine room came from a gravity-fed coal-burning boiler. The coal bunker is directly above the boiler room, carrying up to 266 tons of coal. She could do about 11.1 miles per hour, or 9.6 knots fully loaded. Empty, she could steam at 12.5 miles per hour, or 10.9 knots, making her the slowest ship in the entire fleet. Normally, ships at that time would move 12 to 14 miles per hour. Compared to the 1,000-footers, she's a very small ship, but it is very cool that they turned this one into a museum. This is a museum that I wouldn't mind spending the money to see. I'll put a link to the website about the museum. Costs $20 to get in. Be worth the money, I would think, to see how all this stuff looked way back in the day. She was built during the Great Depression. That is a very, very long time ago, and things have definitely changed since then. She was retired in '78, and still things have modernized a lot since that period, that's for sure. I think she would be well worth a look if you're ever in the area. I'll put a link to a website with more information, dates and times and all of that stuff, if you want to go check it out. I think this would be a pretty cool one to look at, even though she's a small one compared to most that are on the lake these days.